This is a phenolic stick made by the Budo brothers. We're gonna talk about blunt impact weapons and the Medusa system. So, the beauty about blunt impact weapons is, for most people, if I hit with something like this hard, there's a good chance I can shut down the computer. I'm not saying it'll happen, but there's a good chance I can shut down the computer. So if you're gonna use blunt impact weapons, understand that if somebody shells up, they're probably gonna be able to withstand a lot of fucking punishment and close distance. And this is where your secondary weapons are so important. So a lot of times when I'm hitting the heavy bag or the dummy here, I close distance, but it doesn't mean I'm thinking about close. I want to close distance. It means that I understand that distance will be closed, or it could be closed. Then I'll come in here, and that's when I pull my secondary weapon and start causing damage here. Now, of course, I am obligated to use reasonable force. I am obligated to understand what use of force parameters I should be using. So if you're gonna practice combatives, also understand the law. So from here, I'm here. Even with a long-range weapon, distance might be closed, right? If I can keep the person back to this range where I can fully extend my weapon, that's great. But if the person is switched on and committed to closing distance, they might close distance. So I practice from here. Okay, and again, the reason I practice this is not because I want to close distance. If I can keep them back and hit, I'm gonna keep them back and hit. Fuck that, I don't want to be in range with this person, right? If I can break their collarbone and stop them right away, or smash them in the head and shut off the computer, that's what I'm gonna do. But understand, distance gets close sometimes. So this is, my shock is here. So my latch is being wrapped up here. And sometimes I might even let go of my stick, right? Because sticks get dropped, sticks get disarmed. A lot of things can happen, right? So okay. So when you practice blunt impact weapons, make sure you practice for those times the distance is closed. And I'll add to this, keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 strikes, right? And then also practice your bayoneting strikes, your bar strikes, your slashing in here. You can practice if you got a crook top cane, hooking with it, hitting, okay? But these kind of spearing strikes are really important to practice. This like cross-checking, right, is really important to practice. Don't just think that you'll be here using the full extension of the cane, because a lot of times distance will be closed, and then once you get into the clinch, your secondary weapons are very, very important. So for me, my blunt impact angles I would be using at longer range are diagonals, verticals, horizontals, all to the head. Then as distance gets close, bayoneting strikes. Now this is where I use abanicos. Not quite an abanico, but this strike to the base of the skull to get into the clinch is also very important. And from here, believe me, this is not a normal strike, and it's gonna have an effect into the base of the skull. So my stick combatives, I mean, we can have all sorts of stuff here, but realistically, I'm not fighting a man armed with a stick. I may be fighting a man armed with a knife. So I should fucking practice hitting hard so I can stop him quick. And then all my other skills come into play. Okay? So 5 angles are what I would, the maximum of what I would train for real world self-defense. And I would stay away from the stick dueling type training and concentrate more on learning how to hit fucking hard. That's it. Thank you.